We do commercial HVAC service and construction. Can FieldCamp actually handle our accounts, sites, equipment, service agreements, PM work, and capital projects? Or is it still just another job scheduler like Jobber or House Call Pro? The honest answer is yes, but for the service operating system and the project spine. But no, not yet if you expect a complete construction ERP with native AIA billing and deep WIP accounting out of box. Let me show you exactly where that line is. So here's the finished model first. At the top, we have the Beacon property group. Now imagine this is the big property group. It's the biggest one you can get. That's the commercial account. Under Beacon, we have every property and every service site. Inside each site, we have actual equipment that can be chillers, rooftop units, air handlers, boilers, pumps, and components below them. Then we have a service agreement covering a specific site. The agreement has its PM frequency, term, billing cadence, renewal rules, covered location, and the right billing contact. The PM work stays connected to that agreement instead of floating around as unrelated jobs like most systems do. And beside the service operation, we have a chiller plant replacement project. That project carries the contract sum, budget, retainage, percentage complete, project stage, and the work orders for mobilization, demolition, installation, commissioning, and handoff. Now let's walk back through what FieldCamp is actually doing. The first decision is that we don't create a second fake account database where you are just storing the jobs. The native client record is the account. If the customer is, for example, Beacon Property Group, that one company record already owns the contacts, estimates, jobs, invoices, payments, conversations, and end customer history. Then we relate the commercial structure towards it rather than just adding as add-ons. A site object gives you the property hierarchy. That can be the one building, or it can go deeper like campus, building, floor, mechanical room. Each site can hold its service address, access notes, site contact, and every piece of equipment at that location. The equipment object is the asset registry. It holds the make, model, serial number, tonnage, refrigerant, installation date, warranty date, operating status, and parent equipment. And because the equipment is a real record, not just a note on the customer, you can schedule the work against it and keep the service history attached to an exact unit. So if a chiller 1 fails at Beacon Tower, the dispatcher isn't searching for old invoices to figure out which machine the customer means. They open Beacon, open the site, open the chiller 1 and see the history before assigning the job. Now let's talk about the service agreements and preventive maintenance, because this is where people can overstat the software, like what the software does. FieldCamp already supports the recurring jobs and recurring visits. It can also make the service agreement a schedulable record, or so every PM work order, basically what I mean is every PM work order connected to that agreement appears in one place. So you can set that agreement term, PM frequency, contract value, billing cadence, escalation, renewal notice, covered site, and billing contract. Now, the recurring work creates the operating schedule, but I want to be precise about the automation boundary. I would not claim that typing quarterly into an agreement automatically creates the perfect commercial PM program for every customer with no setup. The agreement still needs to be connected to a recurring job or a tested workflow that creates the right visits, checklist, equipment scope, and renewal actions. FieldCamp has the pieces to build exactly this. We don't pretend that every commercial HVAC company uses the same PM template. We work with you to customize it to exactly how your commercial HVAC business operates. And now we get to the projects. Inside FieldCamp, we can configure a project record for installs, retrofits, replacements, and tenant improvements. The project can move from a lead to a bid, won, mobilize, install, commissioning, close out, and handoff. It can hold the client location, contract sum, budget, retainage percentage complete, documents, activity, every work order scheduled against the project. That gives the project manager one operating view. It also gives the service team the handoff at the end, because the installed equipment becomes the part of the asset registry and can move into a maintenance agreement. That project to service handoff is one of the biggest opportunities in commercial HVAC. The capital project shouldn't disappear when commissioning ends. It should create the next 10 years of service history and recurring revenue. But a project record is not automatically a complete construction system. FieldCamp has the change order versioning on documents like estimates. You can preserve the original scope, create a revision, capture the reason, and send it. You can also configure a project level registry for statuses, approvals, values, and due dates. RFIs can be modeled the same way as like project, and like it can have the project, question, responsible party, due date, status, response, attachments, and the affected work order. That is configurable. It is not the same as saying FieldCamp already has the mature native RFI submittal module for every construction team. AIA progress billing is the clearest gap today. We can store contract value, retainage, percentage complete invoices, and billing milestones, but a real G702 and G703 workflow includes the schedule of values, previous applications, current work, stored materials, approved change orders, retainage, and the roll forward into the next application. That is not a native out of the box FieldCamp workflow today. Those are the only two gaps. Now the same honesty applies to the web. Every FieldCamp can track the project budgets, work order, technicians, materials, invoices, cost, retainage, percentage complete, every single thing when it comes to commercial HVAC field operations. But the true construction web means that the earned revenue, cost to date, estimate, cost to complete, committed, cost, and overbilling or underbilling, that requires an ERP system. That level of project accounting still needs custom roll-ups, reporting, integrations with the company's financial system. So the question is, can FieldCamp handle enterprise commercial HVAC? If you're a service-led commercial HVAC company that also runs installs, replacements, retrofit project, yes. FieldCamp can give you the client side equipment agreement, recurring work, dispatch, work orders, and configurable project layer into one operating system. If most of your revenue is large construction and you need complete native RFI, submittal, AIA billing, committed cost, and web accounting suite on one day, like the day one, I would not tell you to replace that system with FieldCamp today. The right architecture may be FieldCamp running the customer site, equipment, service agreement, field execution, and service handoff, while a dedicated ERP system remains responsible for the accounting, inventory parts of it. And that's the honest answer. FieldCamp can model the real commercial HVAC operation, like not even ServiceTitan can reach this level. The service side is strong. The project spine is flexible. The deepest construction accounting layer is where the ERP and the accounting software gets involved. So if you are evaluating this for your commercial HVAC company, book a demo. Bring your service agreement, PM schedule, project workflow, billing process, and reporting requirements. We will map exactly what FieldCamp can own, what needs configuration, and what should stay in your existing stack. Thank you.